But your mom is born in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So you came in here and said, Ricardo, I want to talk about our Latino culture. All right, good. And I believe that this is a great question because I see a lot of people on the internet that are pseudo ethnic study professors talking about the Latino culture, the Latino ethnicity. Even I've seen people say the Latino race. Right now, we're going to prove that Latino is not a culture, an ethnicity, and a race. Check this out. It's easy. It's so easy. You, for example, your mother is from Puerto Rico. I'm from Mexico. We're both considered Latinos. The way we're going to prove that Latino is not a culture is by identifying the fact that you being from Puerto Rico, you know that your culture is much different than my culture, me as a Mexican. We're both different cultures, yet we're both identified as Latino. So how can we be of two different cultures, knowing damn well we're from two different cultures, and yet somehow, some way, still think that Latino is a culture? How can we claim that Latino is a culture if we're culturally different? See, that in itself proves that Latino is, in fact, not a culture. Now, let's prove that Latino is not an ethnicity. In my case, being from Mexico, in Mexico itself, there's a lot of different people of different ethnic backgrounds. For example, we have Zapoteco as an ethnicity. That's a whole ethnicity in itself in Mexico. We have Mixteco, we have Purepecha, we have Otomi, we have Mexica, we have Yaqui, we have Tarahumara, and the list goes on. These are all different ethnic backgrounds in just Mexico itself. So us knowing this and knowing that in Puerto Rico, there'd be the Taino people and other people there. These are all ethnic backgrounds. So how can we claim that Latino is an ethnicity when all of us are identified, or rather labeled Latino, but yet we acknowledge that we are people of different ethnic backgrounds? In Latin American countries, there's different peoples of different ethnic backgrounds. See, I just named the indigenous people of Mexico: Zapoteco, Mixteco, Otomi, Yaqui, Tarahumara, Purepecha. These are different ethnic backgrounds in Mexico. But there's also the Spaniard descent, French, Italian descent, German descent. These are different people of different ethnic backgrounds. There's also Middle Eastern people, Lebanese, etc. There's also Asian descent people in Mexico, in Latin America. There's different people of different ethnic backgrounds in Latin American countries. And yet, because we are from Latin America, we're labeled as Latino. So how can we claim that Latino is an ethnicity when we acknowledge the fact that in all these different Latin American countries, there is different people of different ethnic backgrounds? Last but not least, because it's my favorite, how can we prove that Latino is not a race? In Latin American countries, there is people of different racial backgrounds. For example, we have to start off with identifying or describing what race is. The way race is and how it works is how you are phenotypically presenting. A lot of people think that race is color, but actually it's what you are phenotypically presenting. Some people that are black presenting are lighter skinned than I, but yet they're identified as black because of their features. So color isn't necessarily what determines backgrounds. It really means nothing. Latino actually truly is absolutely nothing. It has no national background because Latin America has different countries. Each country, of course, is a different nationality. So Latino actually holds no weight. It doesn't determine anybody's race. It doesn't determine anybody's ethnic background, anybody's cultural background. It doesn't determine anything other than the simple fact that you're from a Latin American country. That's what Latino is. It is an umbrella terminology. That's it. Now, if you want to get to the origin of Latino, that's a whole nother conversation, but I'll just throw it in here real quick. The origin of Latino actually starts out there in Rome, Italy area. Those are the original Latinos. In fact, they speak the Latin language, which is where French, Portuguese, Spanish, and Italian language come from the Latin language. The people there of that area of Italy, Rome-ish, those are the original Latinos. And if you're wondering, oh, so how then did we people of Latin America came to be labeled Latinos if the original people that are Latinos are white tea people from Europe? That's easy, because the people that colonized Latin America, or what today is known or labeled as Latin America, were those people. People that speak Portuguese, Italian, and Spanish. The Latino people. They are the people that colonized Latin America. That is how and why Latin America came to be known or labeled as Latin America. And that in itself is more evidence that Latino, especially applied to Latin America, means absolutely nothing. It's only labeled this way because it was colonized by Latin people. The real Latin people, white tea people. Latino is not our culture, especially us people that are indigenous people of the Americas. It's not a culture, it's not an ethnicity. On the contrary, actually, Latino is very problematic to indigenous people, because when used as an ethnicity or ethnic identity, cultural identity, what it's doing is ethnically or further ethnically cleansing our indigenous identities, our indigenous cultures. Latino actually serves to ethnically erase us.